Yeah, it's 7 o'clock here in Oakland.
Oh, in the morning?
7 o'clock in the morning, yes.
Oh, here we go. That's very early. Okay.
What time do you normally get up in the morning?
Me, normally at 8 o'clock, 8:30, something like that.
What does a morning look like to Udo Dirkschneider? Are you first thing in the morning is coffee, or are you doing?
No, coffee and water.
Coffee and water.
And switch on the TV and watching the news.
I see.
That's in the morning.
The news is very important to you?
Yes, they're very important. I wanna know what's going on in the world.
Do you?
Especially now in our days, with all this virus stuff.
Yeah, I was doing some research on you and obviously where you're from, and I read that Germany has handled the COVID crisis quite well. Is that correct? What I've been reading?
Yeah, in Germany, let's say it's okay. It's not so heavy as in America or in England or South America. Yeah, in Germany it's quite less, and getting less, more or less. It's getting easier and easier here in Germany.
What could the rest of the world learn from Germany?
I don't know. I mean, a good health system, I think that's a very important thing. And also, the government did a lot of stuff, and the people, the regulations, what they did, and people did this, Okay, sometimes you have crazy people, they're making some parties, whatever. But the most of the people in Germany are, they follow the regulations, and so it works, so everything is fine in Germany.
Well, great. Well, that's good to hear. That's hopefully people that are listening to this can take something away from somebody like yourself who is living in a country that has dealt with it successfully. Because I know living here in California, they are announcing they are reclosing everything again, or not again, everything, but obviously you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I heard that, I mean, I was reading that I saw that on TV, that they now start, closing again bars and stuff like that, so, yeah. So, I mean, what I see so far is that in America, let's say, it's getting higher and higher with infections, And,
by looking at other parts of the world like Germany or New Zealand or even China, for an example, we only have ourselves to blame.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how what's going on in America, I mean, why this happened and they do nothing against it, I mean, I don't know.
We don't have the answer. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about your voice and its strength over time. I saw you in San Francisco, and I was blown away. I hear blues in your voice. I imagine there to be some influence. I imagine there to be some influence from the old greats.
No, blues, no. I mean, blues, this is new for me. No, I don't know. I mean, I was not really into blues music, No, not really. I don't know.
Were you just born from rock?
Yeah, I mean, rock and roll. I mean, I grew up, my parents, they was listening to Elvis Presley and all that stuff. I grew up with rock and roll music, and then, when I was young, I was listening to Beatles, Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, stuff like that in the beginning, and so that was the music I grew up with.
And do you remember what your first concert was?
Oh, my first concert was in 68. Yeah, 68, in a small club with, 50 people. And, we get 50 Deutschmarks. That means it's in a way like $30 or something like that. Yeah, that was with my old colleague like Michael Wagener. and one guitar player from Germany. What I did in the first place, that was not under Accept. That was 1 year later, but that was called Band X.
What was the first concert that you went to as a child? What was the first band you saw live?
The first band I saw live was the Beatles in Hamburg.
Ooh.
That's a long time. I cannot really remember when that was. But that was one of the first concerts I ever saw, So that was the Beatles in Hamburg.
Were you already a big Beatles fan at the time?
Yeah, when the Beatles came out, I was a fan of Beatles. But then the Rolling Stones came and then I changed. It was more heavy or whatever, how you want to call that. So that was like in the old days, Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, and I don't know, all the Jimi Hendrix stuff. That was the kind of music, when Jimi Hendrix came up, that was like, wow, what a guitar sound, That was like, that was the time I grew up, and was thinking I also want to do some music, but not professional, but as a hobby,
Now you have the new album is We Are One, is that right?
The new album, it's called We Are One, that's right.
Now I listened to it last night. The whole album is amazing. You're welcome. There's not really a snoozer on it at all. You must be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, this is in a way you can say a dream came true, to do something like this. Not like what a lot of bands did, just take some songs of the back catalog and put some orchestra on it. This is, the songs are written for orchestra and band, It's like new songs. And, I think the whole thing together is organic, and it works. It works together, and especially with a symphony brass orchestra, This is also something special. There are no violins and all that stuff in it. There's really also really heavy stuff behind.
I think the fact that the songs are original, it makes it easier to digest. That they're not older songs put together with a symphony, like you said.
Yeah, this is in a way the easiest way, to do the older song. But to do new stuff, it was, I don't want to say complicated, but it was not so easy, to think you have in mind, okay, this song has to be written also together with the orchestra, So, and then, when we decide to do an album together, we did 2 shows together in Germany. One show was in Wacken, and then we did a special show on our own with the orchestra. And when we decide to do an album together, we didn't know what's coming up, was just like, okay, let's give it a try. And, then we start composing songs, and so then in a way in the end we had let's say around 30 ideas, not finished songs but 30 ideas demo wise. Then we were sitting together with the 2 main guys. They're doing all the arrangements for the orchestra, and then they said, okay, this one fits, this one can fit together with an orchestra, this one, and and then they said, okay, start working on it with arrangements for the orchestra, and then they came up with the first idea, and that was like, wow, it works, and that was the point. Okay, here we go, we can go on, and but it took nearly a year to do all the arrangements and all that stuff. Okay, we was not constantly working on that. In between we were touring with U.D.O. and so on and on. But to be finished with everything, that was nearly 1 year, and then we start recording the main recording with everything.
Mother Earth will soon avenge. Mother Earth will soon revenge. Could COVID be it? Is COVID Mother Earth's revenge?
Yeah, Mother Earth, we have to be a little bit careful with our Earth, it's like, the people, they let's say for all this plastic stuff, people not really taking care of with the trash what's going on, and also a lot of things, you know. The Mother Earth will take revenge, of course. I mean, we see that already about in the climate, you know, what's going on. I mean, we never had in Germany tornadoes or stuff like that, but now it's happened. And rain, I mean, it's not really like that we had like it was in the older days, when I remember, winter, spring, summer, and fall, you know, and this is changing. And I don't know. I mean, I think we have to be careful, you know. You see what's going on also. I mean, the whole album is about all this shit what's going on, you know. Big Brother is watching your political things against, you know, what happened was in America with George Floyd, you know, and all that stuff. I mean, it doesn't matter if you are black, white, yellow, I don't know. We are all humans, you know, and we have to stay together and keep an eye on our Earth. I mean, we have to take care, definitely, that the next generations can live on this planet. There is no planet B, you know. So, and there are a lot of the whole meaning of all the lyrics are about this, you know, and that means the title of this album, like We Are One. We have to stay together, you know, don't fight against each other or whatever, you know, and just we have to stay together and keep an eye on our planet.
Absolutely. And now I know Germany abolished conscription, which I think is also known as Wehrpflicht. That's probably mispronouncing it, in 2011. Do you look back at your service days with fondness?
I was in the military for 15 months. And at this time, when I was in the military, we had long hair. That was, really good at this time. But I was just, how you call it, for hospital stuff, you know. I mean, I was not really into tanks or, I don't know, all this stuff, you know. I mean, I was doing 3 months learning, I don't know, how to use a weapon, but then I was doing stuff in hospital.
Because I always equate you with military type camouflage gear, and I thought, well, maybe I don't know. Like in America, we have the right to bear arms. I don't know if you're much of a gun enthusiast. Are you?
Yeah. No, definitely, and definitely, I'm not into what is this? Dustin Hartman? No, I don't want to talk to Dustin Hartman. No, I mean, I never was into military stuff, you know. I mean, also this camouflage that was in 82. So we was looking for some special stage stuff, you know. So I mean, of course, in especially in France, Poland, stuff like that. The people say, "Oh, Udo, now military Nazi, blonde hair, blue eyes, you know, short hair." Yeah, at this time it was not so funny sometimes, you know. But now it's like camouflage is a fashion, you know. It's like it had never anything to do with military stuff, you know. It's also with the album that we did this together with a German armed force, you know. It was not planned to have, or I was not looking for the military orchestra. It was just happened, you know. They had the sound that was in, I don't know, 2013 or something like that. I went to a concert, you know, where our producer and the sound guy, he was still at this time a member of this orchestra, and I was like, okay, let's see what they're doing, and and then they played stuff like Queen, Michael Jackson, ABBA, stuff like that, you know, and it was like the sound was like, wow, this is like, it was a really symphony brass orchestra, you know, and that was like, that's the thing what interesting, but not in military, you know. That was, we have a lot of brass orchestras in Germany, but they're doing folk music, you know, for, I don't know, Bavarian stuff. But I don't think so that they are the right orchestras to work together with a metal band, you know. So but with this orchestra, with military orchestra, it works perfect.